Greetings, queens and kings. If you stopping by, welcome back to my channel. Listen, family, this was the episode to beat all episodes because Gary was finally brought on Front Street with nowhere to hide. And let's pray for little Michael and hope that he is okay. What do you think? And has Maurice finally found a good guy? Let's see. Let's get into it. Now, family, when we left off last week, we saw that Andi and the girls were basically busted. Penelope heard the conversation. And, Andi was struggling with wanting to tell her what happened, hurt, but she's like, come on, talk to me. I never saw such a tug of war, especially when it comes to an attorney going back and forth, acting like she couldn't speak. So she finally decided to tell. And what does the first thing Andi tell this woman? We're in love. Really? This is what you tell this woman? So after all of this being found out, she still wanted to throw a dagger at this woman because that's her ego speaking. To crush that lady saying that you in love, I don't even think that's something that she should have said to her. And so basically, the lady like, you need to come on out with it. So everybody basically agreed. So she went on and explained, had they been together the whole time, I guess she was pregnant. And then the woman said this must be one time he was talking to someone named Andi. And Sabrina, like, does she think you work with somebody named Andi? And Andi was like, no, that was me. That was him, me that he was talking about. She pointed out the woman's perfume that she was wearing. Is this some name? The woman said, yes. He bought that when he was in Paris. I guess he bought them both the same perfume. So, I mean, you went from not wanting to tell this woman to being basically very mean and hurtful, spiteful. I don't think you needed to point out the perfume. Sabrina, no, was it Sabrina or Danny pointed out it's the same ring she's wearing that Andi wore. So I guess when Andi did not want to marry him, he put the ring on her finger, which was really sad. That's another bad thing. So this woman, out of everyone, I feel is the most innocent. This woman did not have a clue. Andi constantly dealt with Gary's madness from the time he was married. So she's basically the only one that I'm really concerned for right now, that I really feel bad for in this whole situation. Because Andi knew what she was getting into. She know the type of person that Gary is. So to be hurt at this and surprised at what he's doing is really crazy to me. So the guys come back in with Gary and the brother asks, are you okay? And she's like, no. Everyone's standing around. Gary's looking like, uh-oh. Now, Gary, you knew that something like this may happen. So the jig is up. So Danny's basically like, this bastard right here gonna talk and tell what's going on. So he realized that he's busted. Everybody's looking at you, Gary. This woman is clearly upset. So now you at a point where your back is against the wall, you demon. Yes, all of the lying and scheming and telling Andi one thing and Penelope something else and God knows who other woman out there that you've been lying to. You have basically crushed this woman's entire world. She expected to marry you. She thought she was the luckiest woman in the world with getting a car, getting her a house, an apartment or whatever. I don't know if it was a house, condo, apartment, whatever. But you took care of her like a queen. And to think that she's not the only one, and at the same time, you've been doing this to another woman, that you proposed to another woman, it's hurtful. It's painful. And I really felt for Penelope. So at this time, Jordan is totally upset. And I'm glad to find out that these brothers really are good brothers. They had no idea that Gary was the kind of jerk, a-hole, pig snot creature that he turned out to be. They don't stand for that. And one of the things, I forgot the brother that Danny is talking to, He told him that you knew what we were about, bruh. We wasn't about this. Now, Gary wanted to like skip, and our girl Daddy is like on the floor about to strangle him because he still want to play games, and she's like, no, you're not going to take her away and have a conversation with her, so she won't get the real truth. You're going to say it right here to our face so we can all know exactly what you're saying. Seriously, these brothers are not for the BS. They about men. And they was like, what you doing right here is a little boy. We told you about that when we let you in our circle. So everyone is disappointed with Gary at this point. And, Danny is just disgusted. I'm glad she pulled no punches and letting it all out as to exactly what was going on. And Gary, I know, hates her for that. But if she didn't spark the truth, it wouldn't have came out because he would have played games. And Andi would have left. Sabrina would have left with her. So I'm really glad that Danny was there. So this guy, he may be Danny's soulmate because they like two peas in a pod. They really wanted to get down on his behind. They was so disgusted with Gary, and I love to see black men especially hold other black men accountable for the crap that they do and hurting other women. So I'm glad they put his feet to the fire and let them know they totally disapprove of this conduct. So now he's like, I might as well just come on out with it. And he's pleading and pleading. Shout out to Cheeto, because you really played this role, brother. Begging her that he loved her. This woman means nothing to me. First, he was upset, like, you gonna believe these people over me? You just met them. But yeah, she does. They have no reason to lie. Everybody's there, as a witness. Her friends could validate. Why would this woman come out here and lie to me just like that? So he's begging and pleading that she means everything and how he messed up. And, I guess he got to do what he got to do because you got busted, bruh. And the thing about it is he told her that Andi meant nothing to him. The look on her face. And I'm like, well, you know what? This is karma, Andi, because you just finished telling this woman we're in love. And then he's telling this woman totally opposite. You are nothing. Yeah, I had a fling with her, but she's not marriage material. You're the one that I want to marry. You're the one I like. She's okay. She was just some chick, some side piece that gave me easy access to her. I hope you hear loud and clear exactly how much you meant to him, Andi, because for all of this time dealing with this man, you saw all the telltale signs that he was a complete a-hole. But you still talk about you in love. How dare you tell that woman that? No. So you got played and now you totally embarrassed. This woman was hurt. She said, get away from me. She's looking at him like, I don't even know you. Now he's at the point, you see, he clicks switches, like you brokenhearted to, oh my God, now desperation. And, what tinged with a little bit of anger, like, how dare you? But Andi, at this point right here in this scene, the look on her face, it was a gut punch because he really made her look like trash. And Danny was like, that's the messed up part because they know how he was doing with Andi all this time. You didn't act like she was squat. That's not how you was portraying her, buying her all these things for somebody that's nothing. And they heard all the stories about it. So you looking like a liar, Gary. But it's just validation. This is serious validation. So the brothers want him to leave, told him to go, and he was out of there. And he asked Andi, did you know about this? And he was like, no, of course I didn't know. And, Danny was like, no, she didn't know. It was really, really a sad state of affairs. It was really bad. So, Jordan was basically there for his sister. Danny and them apologized. He excused his bros. And, they really got to really gather their thoughts. Now, here we have Maurice at the party. Now, Maurice is getting his groove on. He is free from jail. He don't have to spend no 15 years. He got his boy there. He was like, where's Calvin? He was like, no, this is for the gays, not for the plays. So Calvin had to go. And they there having a good time. And who does Maurice see? Somebody that's been checking him out for a while. a guy came up to him and told him, I forgot the brother's name, that he had been watching him. I guess he's glad to find out, he's single, what have you. So Maurice is checking him out because, of course, Maurice is a little suspect, thinking the guy just wants to sleep with him. He's like, I'm not taking you home. He says, I'm really not for that. This place is not the kind of place that I'm into. He said, well, this is a gay club. Everybody is gay. He was not saying that he's not gay or in denial. That's just not his scene. He says, I'm more for walks in the park. And he like, well, listen, I'm black. I don't do no walks in no park, especially at night. I don't blame you, Maurice. I was like, I'm with you on that one. But Maurice got to be silly. He never take nothing serious. So I don't see how this man even take Maurice serious. But something about him he likes, and he wants to get to know him more. I don't know. I don't know if this is too soon. I think Maurice needs to chill a little bit, especially after this dilemma. He wants to try things different. He's like, I'm not taking you home. I don't want to go that route. I'm learning from the past. But the guy says he's really interested. And, if you want to get to know him better, he gave him his number. And, hoping that they can talk later and get to know each other better. So Maurice was definitely interested. His friend was like, oh my God, he said, I want to take him home so bad. Like, that is definitely my type. Maurice is really feeling this guy. I'm hoping that the guy is really sincere. And, excuse me. Is not out to break Maurice's heart. I mean, that's why I think he needs to chill a minute before he gets involved again. So now we have the jilted, feeling like an absolute fool, Andi, on the ride back. And she's feeling horrible, and the girls know it. So Danny doesn't want to go home, still don't want to face that music with Preston, and decides to call Karen, I guess, to fill her in on the 411 on what's going on with her bestie. And Karen says, I guess she was cleaning up or what have you. Y'all can come over. I guess it's still fairly early. And she said, yeah, we got to come by because we got to fill you in on what's going on. So they're on their way over. In the meantime, Zach is up here worried about his son. Fatima was trying to get some sleep, but she really couldn't. Zach wanted her to go back to sleep, but she said, no, I'm going to stay up with you. He was really worried about what was going on, how he ended up in this situation, from something that was like a 5-minute rendezvous that he can't even remember, when his boys took him out one night, and this is what happens. Yeah, unfortunately, 5 minutes can turn into a full-blown child. So now our boy here, while his woman is upstairs sleeping, Gary comes stressed out. Like, he has to talk to an attorney because he wants to know how he can deal with this situation. He done messed up. Hayden, for once, told him right. Like, you always messing up, bro. Like, come on now. You done got yourself in some more mess. And shockingly, I was agreeing with Hayden tonight. But he was like, what is it? So he told him I got busted. Explained the situation with the woman that he's seeing, who happens to be pregnant. And Andi was there and busted him. And Hayden like, yikes. So Hayden's trying to tell him to worm his way out of this and just tell Andi, this woman means nothing. It's one of those things, you mean the world to me, blah, blah, blah. More the lies he's been telling. He was like, I can't do that this time. Little does Hayden know, Gary basically told Andi she ain't shit. And that mean nothing. And he wants nothing to do with her. And the main woman, he said that he really likes. But he's afraid with the situation because she's pregnant and the baby, what to do. And the crazy thing about, which makes Gary the narcissist that he is, and Hayden really can't believe him. We know the drama that Hayden done with Fatima and Zach. But the bottom line is, I realized that Hayden just was a lonely person that wanted love. He's not as twisted and as sadistic as Gary. He can be manipulative, but bottom line is he just wanted someone in his life. He wanted love, and he didn't want Fatima to go. But, yeah. And he said, you got money, bruh. You got money. So as long as you got money, you can be able to get out of this situation. I'm done. I'm going upstairs to my woman up there that's waiting for me. Deuces. So Gary left. Now, the girls are over by Karen's, and they basically fill her in on what happened with Gary. Danny need a drink, but of course Karen ain't got no drinks up in there. She can't drink, so that's that. And they basically, co-sign what she was saying, that He got a whole behind woman. A woman that was pregnant, a woman he's been seeing and engaged to the whole time he was dealing with her. Karen's heartbroken for her friend to find out that she suffered total embarrassment and humiliation this way. But she said, I told you he wasn't shit. I never liked him to begin with. But Andi don't listen to anybody. She never listened. People don't like to take a dose of their own medicine. I don't know why Andi, intelligent, you know, big law firm attorney, can't make a decision, can't talk, can't deliberate, can't plead her own case and hold Gary to the fire, or just have some common sense. Like Danny said when he was at the house, oh, this is my girl. She has some sense sometimes. Yeah, she do sometimes. I'm glad for the voice of reason of Danny, because she's hurt because she said, this is my karma. I met this man when he was married. And even if you did know that he was married and he lied, said it was a divorce, let this man prove to you that he wanted to be with you and divorce him before you go any further. But you continued. He strangled you. You stayed with him. The man, damn near tried to kill you, ostracize you, and put you in a house way out in the woods somewhere, miles and miles from your friends and family. Then lied to you, finally got a divorce, but then wanted to, manipulate you with the condo and the car and all that. It's all a power trip or control. When this man nearly strangled you to death, you should have been done that. Then he gets you an engagement ring that's under lock and key that you can't take off with some device on it. Tried to sabotage your bosses from the company because he wanted you. It's crazy. This man was sick and she still wanted him. So enough is enough. I hope Andi finally learned her lesson. I'm not convinced that it's over with her. He'll say some crap and she'll still stick with him. Andi's crazy like that. I have no hope with her right now. Fatima gets a call from Miss Heather that ambulances is everywhere and Michael may be in trouble. So they get up and head over to the house. And I pray that Michael is okay. But it's a lot of drama to be said that's going on at Heather's house. So will Andi take Gary back? I don't know. Real love for Maurice? We'll find out. Until next week, peace. And remember, stay authentically you and live the life you deserve.